And hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. As the stream description of this is, it says is I'm just doing some. I'm actually doing some chill talking. If you guys have any questions about some of the games I'm playing, or questions about my schedule, I have updated my schedule. The only 2 days I left blank are Saturday and Sunday, mainly because I will leave those open for maybe playing random games or doing a repeat of a game, um, and maybe jumping around on some of the other games that I'm playing that I have on the schedule. Uh, Check them out over at my on my stream page over at Twitch. That's twitch.tv/Froggy and Navy. Uh, or sorry, double check to make sure that I'm doing that right because I have two different channels. Yeah, Froggy and Navy 007 slash schedules, or just click on when you open up my homepage on the Twitch channel. There should be a scroll down. There should be a section there that says schedules on it. Take a look at my schedule. If you have suggestions for a game or something like that, please let me know. Shoot me a comment over on my YouTube channel. It is actually being displayed right now, as you see on the screen. User Frogman0072. If you're wondering about the origins of the name, back in, I want to say, during my high school days or during my early school days, middle school to high school, I did tasks with code for a living, and the glasses I wore, technology wasn't as advanced as it is now, so the glasses I wore were big and bulky. They weren't as thick as bottle caps, or as the bottom of Coke bottles back then, but they were big and bulky. So a lot of people said I looked like the character Froggy off the Little Rascals, and the nickname stuck. In 2004, actually more precisely August 10th of 2004, I joined the United States military, hence the in Navy part, and then the 007 is the genre of movies I grew up watching quite frequently. I'm not too fond of the newer versions of the Bond movies, but I grew up watching a lot of the older versions and some of the current ones. I haven't watched any of the most recent ones. I'm also a Star Wars, Star Trek fan, so bring up those topics. I haven't really watched too much of the new Star Trek stuff, so I'm not too up to date. I know a little bit about the older Star Trek, like the TV shows of Star Trek, the Next Generation, Star Trek, the Next Generation. I've watched some Deep Space Nine, a few episodes of Voyager, and Deep Space Nine. I've watched some Babylon. I'm into the sci-fi stuff, but not much as of recently. Um, I'm more into the video games, and then bringing and showing off some of the creations I'm doing to you guys. So now a lot of my building I'm doing is building a survival. I've come across the mod in SE1. I hope that at some point it'll either be default on the new Space Engineers 2, or it will be a mod carried over to Space Engineers 2 that allows something similar to or more realistic to Splitsy's Survival Unlikely, where you're not going to find all the ores on one single planet. You will have to go from planet to planet. As of right now, Space Engineers is open for early access on the 27th of January, and it is only going to be in creative mode only. I will say this much, and I agree with, and I'm happy that the devs or keen software houses mention this. If you're into Space Engineers and you want to play Space Engineers, but you're more in it for the survival mode and stuff like that, don't get it. It literally is just creative mode. I'm into the survival mode of the game, but I tend to be able to wrap my head around things a lot better once I start playing around with things in creative mode. And then I can go into a survival world and print off or build some of my creations and see if they actually function properly. Because as if you know, in Space Engineer 1, everything you built in creative is not always going to work in survival, especially if you're building a ship that's going to be going from atmosphere to space. Uh, is the my major issue right now is trying to design my own ship to carry equipment and gear from the atmosphere, uh, from the planet up to the space, and then eventually designing a space station, a moving space station to jump around the solar system with, and so on and so forth. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. Let's see if it's going to work today. And here we are. This is one of the. Well, let me back out of here and show you how to do it. This is your first time seeing Space Engineers, or care to get an idea of the type of games I like to play, or what I like to do in the game. If you play, as you can see right there on the screen, back it up. Alpha, uh, pre-order now, play on Steam for January 27th. Now, keep in mind that this early alpha access is for creative only. There is only going to be a creative mode. I believe if you go over to the Keen Software House website, or if you have subscribed to their newsletter, they do put out a roadmap on the status of the game and their roadmap for the game itself. Right now, they're trying to get things lined up in creative mode, get all the features and everything put in. Then they're going to implement other features, planets, atmospheres, asteroids, and because they're using a new engine, and if you haven't been paying attention to some of the new stuff, they've been implementing in a new V-Rage 3. Um, they're going to be adding water, physical water, into the game. So we don't have to mod in fake water in the game and make it work. All right, so with Space Engineers in your main game, if you're starting for the first time, you'll see this. You'll obviously get this automatically. You can click on the button to sign up for the newsletter. You've got a little block here that tells you current updates and stuff like that that have happened, or for the latest update that have happened, hot fixes and so on and so forth. Then you have, if you're starting for the first time, this will not be highlighted. This will be completely grayed out. Or if you have played but you've deleted all your saves, this will be completely grayed out, meaning that you don't have any games to physically reload. So you could either quick start, which will pick a random map and spawn you into it, or you click on new game, which will allow you to choose the type of game and gameplay that you would like to play. Or if you're want to play on a server or playing with friends, and a friend has a server or a game that they're hosting, you want to click on the join game and move from there. I'm not too familiar with the join game stuff on Space Engineers. I've never played on a server. Hopefully, within the future or so, I'll be able to do that. but I want to be able to be more confident with my creations and stuff like that in SE before I can move any further than that. Quick start is a random map of the defaults. I believe the default of Space Engineers maps. You could start on any of them, and but uh, what are the maps? What what where can we spawn at? It's standard SE Space Engineers. Well, click on New Game, and you'll come up with this window here. All right, so you have sandbox, story scenarios, you have PvP scenarios. They've got original content, the original content for the game itself, and then community content. We'll get into that one a little more in depth later. All right, so Sandbox, this is where you'll find your star system startup. This is literally Star System's most popular world in Space Engineers, featuring several planets for you to build, explore, and survive on. Customize the settings and play to your heart's content. Now, what's unique about this one? It has all the planets: Bertam, Titan, Triton, Earth, Mars, Europa, the alien planet, the moon. It has all those planets on it, meaning that you can travel, start out wherever you want on the list. It gives you a respawn list you'll start up with, and it will spawn on any of those planets, and and start from a planet, or if you really want to, start from space. Be advised, space usually is the harder, quote unquote, to start with, because the simple fact you've got to fly around in a ship, or if you decide to spawn in your suit and look for resources. If you spawn in your suit, be advised, you will, if you die, you will not be able to respawn. You will have to literally start over again, like you're restarting initially started the game. So some of the sandbox games that got out there, some of them, like this one, Sparks of the Future, Pertam Orbital, the Asteroid Armory. Those are they came in when the DLCs came out. These were worlds added in to more enact and feature some of the new blocks and things you could do with Space Engineers. Then you have an empty world where you can literally build your own world to your heart's content and create content of your own. And literally what it says right there in the bottom, this world is blank, a blank slate. Unleash your creativity and populate it with your creations. Either you can build ships or build your own solar system. Ever wanted to play in the Soul System, aka our universe? Hey! Or you can go to the workshop and download the mod for it and play it that way. Then you have Redship 2 version 2. This is a more updated version of the original Redship, where you'll start on a platform and on an asteroid out in the middle of nowhere, on where you'll have a few ships you can build, and or if you feel like it, tearing down. And then we go back to the star system. Now, story scenarios, as of right now, there are 4 of them. Main ones, E1. So, Lost Colony and Frostbite are I would say more of a can I do things without a jetpack gameplay. Now, you can start the game, save the game, exit the game once you've loaded in, and then turn on the jetpack option in your screens, or just leave it off and play it with the jetpack. Uh, but these are more of it's just give you a story bound and something to play with. Never Surrender is more of a freedom type thing that allows you to create your own. You start off like as if you were starting off in the sandbox solar system. Only thing is you have a actual point of origin point of interest you need to get to, and protect the facility as long as you possibly can. Then you have your PvP scenarios, which were just introduced not too long ago with the Scrapyard Race when they introduced the Scrapyard stuff. So you have your Scrapyard Race, the Uranium Heist, and your Space Standoff. Uh, these are Keen's PvP stuff. Then you have your original content. These were originally with the game and have been with the game since the game's initial survival launch. So we got your Earth platform, Alien, Moon, and Mars planet. These are referred to as easy starts, meaning that you have a fully functional platform to work from that has refineries, assemblers, with their upgrade modules. You have places to grind. They also have a few ships, your welder ship, your grinder ship, and a miner. And then they've got some a projection blueprints that you can build for moving around on the planet, either a vehicle or via an actual flying around ship. Then you have this one, the arena. This is just, to me, this is like a PvP type thing. I wouldn't put it as original content. I would have put it in the PvP scenarios. And then we have the infamous Crashed Red Ship. A lot of people start off from there and then build, a ship from the red ship, or build their own space station or station, so on and so forth. Then you have the original red ship platform, where you get a few ships on there. These are some of these are actually in creative mode, meaning that if you click start, and you get into the game, there is no resource cost for you, and you can start building until your heart's content. Be advised, whatever you build in creative will not function like you think in survival. It may or may not function the same. So be mindful of that. Then you've got the green station. It's just the same thing as red ship, the exception to your a full-size platform, two different ships, and it's whatever. Yeah, I'm not very fond of it. Then you have lone survival. This is another one of your creative mode type things. Um, Alone in the void. You have a refinery and an assembler, but it really isn't necessary because you're in creative mode and you can build to your heart's content. But that is not to say that you can't take any of these out of creative mode and put them into survival mode so that you can play, if you want to play something like that in survival. Then you have rival platform, which is pretty much similar to the red ships, only instead of obviously you'll have red team, blue team, so on and so forth. And then we have one that is originally with the game. It is actually meant to get you familiar with the controls, have movements of the character in SD, called the first jump. I highly recommend playing through this to its entirety, as it gives you an idea of how things function. And then going in and then jumping into a sandbox game, go over to the star system. You can go into customize, where you can go in and change your settings, add mods. I highly recommend it if this is your first time playing, and you'll hear a lot of SE creators or content creators say this. Highly recommend that if you want to play SE, understand or get a good grasp of SE, or to have a somewhat enjoyable time with SE without extra frustrations trying to figure things out, other than trying to figure out, oh, should I use ion thrusters, hydrogen thrusters, atmospheric thrusters? What kind of ion thrusters do I want to use? Well, oh, how many reactors will I need? kind of stuff like that, do not go into your options menu and do not go into your game settings and do not click on this box, which is currently highlighted in for me called experimental mode. What experimental mode does, it unlocks the ability to be able to download blueprints and modded games off the Steam Workshop and allow you to play them. But if you're familiar with SE and you want to get some more ideas for game content and stuff like that, uh, or you're looking for, hey, maybe somebody else has got a game that I might, a content that they play that interests me. And that's where the community content comes in. This is where you can go into the Steam Workshop, look up different, literally worlds, scenarios, or AKA campaigns. These are done by SE players and modders who have created this stuff for us, and they've created it for themselves, and they're like, hey, this is cool. Let me share this with other people. So you have some of the ones I have is the Encore solar system. I haven't really played too much in that, mainly because I downloaded it because it's a different solar system. Then you have the Ares at War scenario, which is really cool. I like the way that they had it set up. Captain Arthur was, he put a lot of effort into this. If you were around for earlier days of the Agris at War system, this is the same thing, only it's a full solar system this time versus just the planet. Then you have this one. This is just an outpost base. This is another one of those bases of showing off SE's updates, some of the components they've added to the game. Then you have individual created scenarios by certain people. You'll see me talk about this gentleman quite a lot because I do follow a lot of his stuff, and some of his stuff he does, I played them quite a bit. I haven't gotten into the bankrupt economy station start yet. Then there's this one. This is just a survival world with a base in it. This one is you want to head over to the. I'm trying to think of his. The Constitution Crash is a start of one of the other content creators I like to watch. There's actually 3 different content creators in here. One is Wasted Space, Captain Shack, and then Morph. Those 3 have created a scenario where it's a machinima series where they've crash landed on a planet. They are the only 3 survivors of a ship that was testing its warp drive, and the warp drive exploded and it ended up on the planet. They had separated for a while, and then Captain Shack ends up finding him, and a bunch of crap goes on. So it was a good machinima series. So I highly recommend checking out them. Then that's where the Constitution Crash comes in. Then you have different simple starts or early starts or easy starts, I should say. Like this one here. There's no mods, but there's 2 crash ships where you can gather resources from without having to build a refinery, anything like that. Then you have I've got Desert Attack. This one is just a world, a Desert Shop world. This is not actually a gameplay. This is just a show of some of the ideas for the robots for G Corp in a infamous game called Escape from Mars. Once you get into playing SE and you feel that you're very comfortable and you want a game to challenge you, to push you a little bit further, or to say, hey, how creative can I be in survival mode? Play Escape from Mars. EFM is by far the only section of game where I've sat down and like, okay, I'm limiting myself from turning on creative mode to print in something, and it makes you think about, okay, how much ice do I have? What can I build? Uh, and okay, now I need turrets for this. Okay, where can I find batteries? Well, I don't have a refinery, so I can't scrounge ores. I can't grind this battery down because if I grind this battery down, and this applies to every battery in Space Engineers, I lose the battery components. If I lose the power cells, I can't use that battery. This game literally pulls the need to dig for ores out of the game and forces you to scavenge and repurpose from buildings, other vehicles, other stations, other other people's builds that you may find throughout the game, and utilize them to build either your own craft or to upgrade the crafts that are ships that are in the game. Then you have escape pod. These are just escape starts. This is just a reverberation of. These are just some of the few worlds. Somebody has gone and taken all the Keen Software House worlds and combined them. This is just their stations remastered. I don't think that's even working anymore. This is a Kerbal Space Center. This was originally um, played on by Wasted Space and his crew. Uh, and they literally, they built rockets, actual rockets, and shot them into outer space to try and recreate the Kerbal experience in the Space Engineers world. Next one's not that important. Then you have one that's called Paradise Lost, and this is just another challenge to the game. Here's another one for when they did the drone update or the autonomous update to Space Engineers. Beyond Space Engineers Survival. This is just another scenario in Redship World. This is when they updated the original Redship to the current with the sci-fi thrusters and stuff like that, and current sci-fi look and everything. Rusty World. This is just a Pertam with a bunch of rusty equipment on board. There's so many varieties of, like this one here. You have two different scrap scenarios, Sataris and then the scrap yards. The scrap yard scenario literally is just a solar system start. The only problem is there's only 3 planets you can spawn on because they have to be atmospheric planets. Ones with breathable atmosphere, and currently in the game, Pertam, Triton, and Earth-like are the only ones that actually have a breathable atmosphere. And this is just another one of Splitsy's start scenarios. Then you have an abandoned ship scenario. Here's the start of one of the survival, Splitsy survival series, which is first one was the survival maybe. If you want to take a look at what Space Engineers looked like early on, have a look at him over in his Splitsy channel. Then he did a Survival Impossible, which I'm not sure if he's going to be bringing it back. That he has a kid and everything. He's finding it a little difficult to continue on with the series and spend time with his family. Then I've got a couple of survival maybes. Then there's survival unlikely. I do not recommend getting the survival unlikely world because there's a lot of mods that are no longer, that are obsolete, that are loaded into this game, so it's kind of broken. But there's a genre of different types of games that you can play, and what's really nice is if you're playing a game, say like for instance, the UNS Narada crash site, there's a lot of mods on here that are broken. But guess what? You can pull those mods out and put in your own mods and change things up. So that's what's nice about some of this, what I like about this. This is another, this is part of the Wrong Way series. This is the second in the Wrong Way series, the Wrong Way Up, where they will go go from the pole of one planet to a pole of another planet. Then there's the Museum for the Wrong Way Up series. It's the Agorist stuff. Again, there's the different start scenarios. Here's a start on a moon with just a little base and a little shuttle out in front. Another version of the Paradise Lost. Here's the extended version of the Sparks of the Future DLC that was included. And then you can go back in and download community stuff. All right, so what I'm doing is actually already started. Once you've got a game loaded and you want to play that game again, you click on your continue game. It'll take you back into the last opened or played version of the game that you were in. I've got a few mods onto this world. Some of them are quality of life type mods, one of them being undo. I've got both the build info and build vision on here, which require the, well, at least the build vision requires the APD text HUD. I also have experiment improvised engineering, which allows me to walk up to a block with my grinder out. Walk up to the block. Now by pressing and holding control, I can that build allows me to do is there it goes. Now I've got a block. I can move it around. Allows you to play around with blocks. So the main key features are the build vision and build info. A couple other mods on here. I'm not really too worried about. One thing I connect with those ones to go away, so I kind of stuck with those unidentified signals. I really wish there was a way or function to shut those off, especially when we're playing a creative mode build, where we're not going to be going out and dealing with those. But anyway, so I want to build a atmospheric ship I can take off from atmosphere and go out into space with and be able to fly around. So start with our iron blocks. Things that we might want to have in there. So some of the other mods I have in here, which is the Star Trek Module 3, which is actually, I think it's a 1.3. This is their power module, meaning that everything from a warp core can be created to the actual powers. They have their own little version of a battery for Star Trek. I kind of like their batteries, and I kind of like their weapons, their cores. But I only want to, the only time I really use those is when I want to, I've got a build that I want to incorporate them into. But we're going to stay with mostly vanilla stuff right now. The other mod I have on here is camera panning, and then the compact tanks, the variety of different hydrogen tanks, different variety of oxygen tanks, and along with O2H2 and an O2H2 generator. So there's 3 different generators. One that just does oxygen, one that does hydrogen, and what's really nice about these is they're not a 2 by 1 block. It is a 1 by 1 by 1 block. It's a single block, just like your armor block. So it takes up no more than a 2.5 meter space because the standard size for blocks SC1 is 2.5 meters. For your large grid and small grid is 5 meters or half a meter. All right, so we're going to be doing space vehicles. These are half take off from the planet. So we're going to need we'll start there and we'll work our way up. So I'm going to throw in some layers as well. Along with storage. Alright, so we have this full-size hydrogen tank. Which we can get in large grid or small grid. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start off with a couple of them. side of this block that has a conveyor connection on it. Means that when SE goes to calculate, start to calculate everything that may or may not be connected to this side, this side, this side, this side, this side, this side. As of right now, it's not as bad. But if you fill your entire ship with nothing but conveyor junctions, vices limiting your junctions and connecting them with tubes here and there, you will start to create a lot of SE calculation errors where it's going to miscalculate desyncs where you're going to look in the cargo and you're like, well, I could have swore I had 26 metal grids, and go back in and like, well, how all these grids just showed up? So that way, if I want to some of the other key features I'm going to want to have when I get in here, think about more into the actual designing part of it later. I'm going to want to have defining capability. Not sure if I want to go with a, may go with a full definitely want a full assembler because with a full assembler I have a large quantity of parts I can process, fabricate, build, and would allow me to build them a lot faster than if I were to do a basic assembler. Because I want to be able to keep these small ports open on the sides of the assembler, because on there I can attach a couple of these guys. processing speed go down. So I can conserve some of my battery power. Excuse me. If I'm running off, well, since I'm going to be running off standard SD batteries and this shit. Grid to it. You won't not exactly course. So if I like take a look at the actual world I'm playing on here, and then we'll wrap up here. So I am currently in a load. Started off in a star system, so I have a lot more planets to start from. I'm actually on an Earth-like planet. I'm going to go and edit my settings, and we'll take a look at some of the mods I'm playing with on here. Which is not, shouldn't be any different from the mods that I'm playing in my creative mode, with the exception of a few. And I want to point out some of those. Some of them being quality of life, some of them being add more in depth to the game. So the first one I want to point out is at the top of the screen here. You have two different mod lists. You have your available mods. If you've downloaded any mods of the Space Engineering Workshop page, they'll show up over here. And the mods that are currently active in the game that you're playing, because you'll have to go in and edit the settings for that particular save. Or as you're creating the sandbox game, you can add this stuff in before you even launch into the world, which makes creating your own scenario in a star system. What makes the star system one most popular is because you can go in and edit everything prior to actually launching the actual save or the creating the system. So star system progression version 2. What this does is it takes the ore deposits and spreads them out. I'll give you so we'll open this up in the workshop page. Alright, So there's a version 1 and a version 2. Version 2 works with water modded planets. It also works with the daily needs stuff. Version 1 does not. So if you want to play around with the modified ore system, um, and then but not have to worry about it working on water worlds and stuff like that, go ahead and play the first one. But it's not going to matter anyway. The version 2, you can play on either water modded planets or non-water, your basic vanilla planets. So the idea of this version of the planet progression system, or the star system, solar system, star system progression, is it takes all planets and moons are available from the start, from out starting out from. You do find all ores on all planets, but each have a specificity and limitations. Basically, you will need to get to asteroids or moons for silver, or and only moons provide plentiful gold. Um, so if you watch the series of Survival Unlikely, um, I can't remember the actual name of the mod, but Splitsy plays with a mod that takes and it spreads the ores out throughout the planet. Though in Vanilla SC, you will not find uranium on planets, though there are mods that allow you to put it back on the planets. But and it takes, so what this mod does is it takes that and amplifies it out a little bit further. So like Earth-like planet, this is an easy start with breathable atmosphere, good winds, and rich in basic construction ores. Planet, plenty of cobalt and magnesium. Those right there are the key things that'll keep allow you to get to space a lot faster. Is this right here, cobalt? There's a lot of your thruster components for both your atmospherics and your hydrogen thrusters rely on grids, and metal grids are created through iron and cobalt. And magnesium will just give you your bullets, because your president needs more bullets. The moon obviously is a little bit of a really harder start. There's no atmosphere, there is no winds, because gravity is like 0.2. So there's no real atmosphere on the planet. The solar panels still work, which wind turbines work on atmospheric planets only. If it has an actual atmosphere, you will get the wind turbines to work. They will not work in space or on low atmospheric planets like moons. And there's no and then the ice is only at the poles, so you will not find any underground ice other than at the poles itself. Still got your standard construction ores up there. Now here, cobalt is very scarce. It's a good source of magnesium and silver and gold, and the silicone is plentiful. Notice the change. And then we just go into the Earth-like moon. Then you go to the Mars-like planet. This is a harder start than Earth, obviously. Weak winds, obviously no oxygen. Need to quickly find ice inside the surface boulders or at the poles. There's that little restriction there. While platinum is plentiful and found closer to the surface, cobalt is more scarce and deeper. So now you're limiting the amount of cobalt we have, but the cobalt we have to dig really deep for. Same as the Earth start, you will need to get to the moon, Europa, for a reliable source of gold and plentiful ice, but silver isn't common there either. So Mars and Europa, which is a moon of Mars, actual moon of Mars, you'll find it'll be harder to find silver. Again, Europa obviously is moon, so there's no atmosphere. Oh, it has a thin atmosphere, so the winds are weak. It's an ice planet. So you'll be able to get your oxygen and hydrogen there. Basic construction ores are not too common. Silver is rare, but gold and especially magnesium are easily found. Getting to orbit or Mars might really be necessary for any progress. Then you have the alien planet. Obviously, it's a harder start, or a normal one, depending on whether you have the spiders enabled. They have a feature in here where you can turn on spiders, whereas when you walk on the ground, spiders will spawn up occasionally. It has a dense, unbreathable oxygen atmosphere with a fairly strong gravity field and strong winds, rich in everything except gold, uranium, and platinum. So this will have a lot of your start basic resources. The Titan, a moon, is another hard start, thin atmosphere, weak winds, no oxygen. You can find ice lakes around the surface for most part. Cobalt is plentiful and found close to the surface. Good amounts of the basic construction ores and gold can be found, but almost no silver. So your each planet has a different restriction and a variety of building materials, and this adds to the game, adds more to the game. I hope they implement something like this when we in Space Engineers 2 survival mode. And then you have Pertam, and you can read a lot of these specifications on the actual Steam Shop work page. It even goes into specifics of the gravity um, of each modification to the planets. Earth-like, got your standard gravity, your oxygen density, your maximum wind speed. The Moon, Mars, Europa, the alien planet, Titan, Triton, and Pertam. Whereas Triton, Pertam, and the alien planet have higher gravities than Earth-like. And then you have your ores and how they're procedurally spread out. So 40, 63 silver and platinum on Titan, whereas you'll find, let's see, your higher concentrations of silver, platinum will be on Pertam. Oh, silver on Pertam, platinum on the Mars, and go on and so forth and stuff like that. And this adds more to the game, and it forces you to not be stationary and stay to one planet. It forces you, hey, I need gold. I can't find gold on Earth. Earth-like, well, let's go to the moon. It has large gold deposits. Get your gold there. Then now I need silver. Well, I either got to go to search for asteroids. Well, now I need silver and platinum. Silver is used for building atmosphere, or silver is used for building higher tier tools, along with your medical components you need for building med bays or respawn stations. Platinum comes more in consequence if you're staying up in space and you want to build ion thrusters, and because you're tired of hunting for ice all the time, then platinum will be one of the next important ores to locate. Appreciate you all stopping by and dealing with my yammerings of trying to create my own ship. I'm finding it a bit difficult. I've tried different varieties of ships. I've tried combining different versions of different ships, different components from ships and stuff like that. I may play around with it some more here. I will say that I will not be doing any streaming in the upcoming Space Engineers 2 when it's released on the 27th, mainly because I own it mainly for to get a head start on wrapping my head around the new concepts in Space Engineers 2. And if you're curious about SE2, head over to the Steam Workshop or head over to the Steam Software House page on the internet and check out the video. And they will explain how everything that works. They also have Twitches and YouTube channels where you can watch their update videos and videos about the things they've shared about the new V-Rage system, V-Rage 3, which is the engine for Space Engineers. So without further ado, join me again tomorrow where we're going to play some, let me pull up my schedule real quick. I believe it's, we're going to be playing some, I just lost my goal. Oh no. Yep, I just lost. Oh, okay. All right, give me 1 second, folks. We're going to do a quick reboot of my Go XLR. All right, and we're back. There we go. That's better. Let me turn the volume down just a tad bit. A little loud. All right, so we'll be doing a little. We got upcoming. We got some more playing around, looking for the cure and Forever Skies. We're gonna do some. We're gonna start to play around in Stationaires. We got some Eden Crafters coming up, and I may do some other stuff in a few other games, and then we're going to be playing around a little bit of scrap mechanics too. More specifics on my schedule. Take a look at the work of my schedule on my Twitch page. You will find that if you go to twitch.tv and you click on me, go to my channel, you scroll down, there should be a section there that says schedule, and it shows that it's not showing my schedule right now. Well, anyway, I'm actually live, so I'm not going to be able to look at it anyway. Check out my schedule, look at the games we're going to play. If you find one of those games pique your interest, pop in, start playing. Usually a few hours after I get home from work. I don't get home till about 4:30. And then I'll play from there. I'll stream from there. It gives me time to catch up on any anime that have come out for the new seasons that are coming up, and get myself something to eat and re-energize. I'm gonna try and keep this going as long as I possibly can until I start my classes back up again. And I hope to see you all again. And I thank you for coming. And y'all come back.